Western United play their first men's fixture out of their new home base in Tarneit, a thrilling Melbourne derby, and we have a new leader atop of the A-League men's ladder after Central Coast Mariners defeat Wellington Phoenix. A full round 2023 recap. Let's jump into it right now because there is a lot to dive into, and on Friday it kicked off with Western Sydney Wanderers hosting Brisbane Roar, a wet and rainy evening in Sydney and much of New South Wales on Friday, and Western Sydney Wanderers returning home after a couple impressive away wins in recent weeks, winning 3-0 away to Macarthur. Very impressive second half performance, and you thought heading into this game against Brisbane Roar this was a winnable match, but 2 goals for Brisbane, Aldred and Henry Hoare getting the job done. Dude, it was concerning considering that Wanderers once again fielded a pretty strong lineup. Some changes made. They brought Lockie Brook and Milanovic in. Sonny Kittle starting once again after he scored his first goal for the club last week. Interesting to see Marcus Anderson bench for this game. Brandon Borello starting up top for Western Sydney Wanderers. Brisbane Roar, again, they made a couple tweaks for this game also, but got the job done in the end. This was a match that was really fascinating seeing the way it was playing out because Brisbane Roar were really staying with Wanderers the whole game, even though Western Sydney Wanderers were probably creating the better of the chances in that first half. It was indeed Brisbane who took the lead. Tom Aldred from a corner, a player who's hasn't scored many goals in the A-League, but gets on the score sheet here for a crucial goal. Dylan Parias with a really nice backheel finish in that second half, and then Henry Hoare with a great finish following the corner. Where was the marking though? I mean, Wanderers will be disappointed with what they did at the back there to not shut down Henry Hoare, not close him down, and he had so much time and space and had the opportunity to find his spot and place it into that far corner. It's massive though. I mean, just this result for Brisbane Roar as we see the ladder here, man. It's a huge 3 points to keep them in the race for finals, and especially considering that they defeated the team sitting in 6th place in Western Sydney, and we're going to have a similar conversation when it comes to Adelaide and Melbourne City as well, who are still in the conversation. With Wanderers losing here, they still sit on 34 points. There is a chance, it is unlikely, the teams like Brisbane and Adelaide are really going to need results to go their way. But with Wanderers slipping yet again, it just keeps the door ajar for those teams below. Huge 3 points for Brisbane Roar to keep them in the race. Well done to the Roar, who have endured a bit of a roller coaster season, but keep the season alive just for a little while longer at least. Brisbane Roar. Saturday was a huge day, man, because we had it was a historic day, if you like. Well, first of all, for Western United playing the first fixture out of Tarneit, their new home base there. And what a game this was, man. This was a thrilling match in the end. I mean, Macarthur were definitely the better team in the first half. They were creating better chances. They were controlling the ball. Rafael Borges Rodriguez was really impressive down that left-hand side. And the Bulls are up 2-0. Germain scoring the penalty. Uli Davila coolly taking an opportunity that he found in the box. And you thought from there that, the Bulls were going to spoil the party there out at Tarneit. But Western United, who knows what happened in that halftime talk, man? We've seen some of the pictures of the dressing rooms for Western United looking very cool. They've got like the names and numbers printed on like the little on the players' cupboards. It looks great. But John Aloisi gave them a fantastic halftime team talk, obviously, because they came out and scored 4 goals in about 15 minutes. It was absolutely unbelievable. And I mean, not only was it obviously a great story for Western United getting the win here in this game, Danzaki, Roos with double, and Grimaldi getting on the score sheet as well. It's a great, moment for Western United as a club. But Macarthur, again, another capitulation in the second half. 2 weeks in a row. We think back to last week, Macarthur FC. We did a watch-along for the game, didn't we? The Western Sydney derby. They lost 3-0, conceding 3 second-half goals. And it all fell apart. And now conceding 4 second-half goals. All of a sudden, there is now a bit of concern around Macarthur FC. And again, if we take a glance at the ladder, Macarthur, currently sitting in 5th place. They've been in a really good position for much of this season, sort of knocking around the top 6, top 4 really for most of the year. And 35 points. it's certainly not safe and secure for MacArthur as it stands. Again, it's unlikely, the teams like Melbourne City and Brisbane would have to get maximum points, you'd imagine. But all of a sudden, it's looking a little bit nervy with 2 consecutive losses. Look, congratulations to West United on getting the win at the first fixture out at Tarneet there. And again, this is a team who I think, we could see. I mean, I'm very curious to see how West United line up for next year, man. There's certainly good players in that team. You got good young players coming through, like Kane Vidmar at the back as well. Daniel Pena seems to be pretty happy at Western United as well. They're a team who could really, start to jump up the ladder next year. But again, a little bit concerning, considering that this was arguably MacArthur's full-strength lineup winner. They're missing a couple plays here and there, but overall, it's looking pretty strong for them. And the way they just fizzled out in the second half was really quite disappointing for the Bulls, especially if they want to go deep into finals this year. Congrats once again to Western United. Straight after that one, Central Coast Mariners were lining up against Wellington Phoenix for probably the most highly anticipated fixture of the round, you get to say. And again, that's saying a lot, as I said in the predictions video, considering that there was a Melbourne derby on straight after this as well. But, 2 teams who have just been unreal this season in Central Coast Mariners and Wellington Phoenix. And my goodness, this was a tense and tight match. Mariners, though, certainly dominating the chances. That first half, man, so many crucial opportunities for Central Coast to take the lead. Nisbet was looking good. Torres creating chances. Caltac almost scored in that first half as well. Wellington Phoenix, they were really limited. Their chances were really, really limited in that first half, but did make a couple tactical changes in that second half to get them back into that game. It was Torres who scored that first goal. Nicely taken header. Nice move from the Mariners. Storm Roux getting in behind. I thought he was very good in this game, Storm. But Ben Old, I mean, he's such a dangerous player, Ben Old. And he was probably Wellington's best player on the night. Every time he got on the ball, every time he got the opportunity, he was flying up that left-hand side. And Mariners, at times, were struggling to deal with it. And really coolly taken goal, Ben Old, after the cross from Oscar Van Hattem. And from there, man, it was a nervy sort of final, 10, 20 minutes of the match. And it was really, I mean, every single chance, every single moment, man, everyone was on the edge of the seats. It was a fantastic vibe inside the stadium. But Mikael Docker showing up for a huge goal for the Mariners to put them top of the ladder. What a finish as well by the Brazilian, who was playing in a more advanced role in this game, right-hand side, even tucking in, coming infield at times as well. And that's what, earned him the goal. He came infield onto his left. Fantastic finish past a good keeper like Alex Paulson. Wellington Phoenix, it was quite clear they came here with the intention to set up in a really solid defensive shape. And that defensive block was strong, really, really strong for much of the game. That back 5 and then the 3 in front of them. But look, they're always going to be dangerous on the counter-attack with the likes of Kryev and Barbarouses and Ben Old, as we mentioned earlier as well. But 3 points for the Mariners to take them top of the table, level on points with Wellington. But of course, wins is the key column here. More important than goal difference, as we know for this season. Central Coast Mariners, 14 wins, 1 more win ahead of Wellington. So it's all about these final 3 fixtures for these 2 clubs. Who slips up from here? At the moment, the Mariners hold the advantage. A huge opportunity for Central Coast to win the premiership for the first time in a very, very long time. Wellington Phoenix, though, they'll be eager to bounce back next week against Melbourne Victory. Huge 3 points for the Mariners. Melbourne Victory, speaking of them, they played in the Melbourne Derby against City, and it's a 2-1 win. And a game that I think Victory in the end deserved to win, but it was a nervy start for Victory. A uncharacteristic giveaway from Ryan Teague allowed Torgeir Arslan the opportunity to step through and put the ball away, and he did so very cleanly and coolly, and it gave City the advantage. But from there, I mean, City sat back a little bit too much, I think, for City fans' liking at least, and it allowed Victory to push forward, create opportunities, and as we saw from that stats column there, these stats coming from Google. 22 shots with 5 on target that Victory ended up racking up over the match. Just two shots on target for City out of 8 total. Victory certainly looking much more dangerous in attack. Bruno Fornaroli scoring against his former side from the penalty spot. And then Damien De Silva, the centre-back, showing up once again. Not for the first time this season. We remember a few months ago he scored a double late on against Western United to grab the win. So once again, De Silva shows up in a crucial game here for Melbourne Victory to really solidify their place in that top 4. And they're looking pretty comfortable now, Melbourne Victory. Again, strong lineups for both teams. Again, we've seen, Max Caputo starting in that attacking position there up top. His opportunities were limited. And despite, the fact that City were able to bring on the likes of Leckie and McLaren, again, they couldn't force their way through in this game. You just wonder whether City are going to have enough to, get the points necessary to crack the top 6 there to replace Wanderers. Can they get it done? We just don't know, man. I mean, it's all about which city is going to show up on the day. They've been really, really good at times this season. We know they're capable of scoring goals, but the inconsistency has really hurt them this year, and we could see victory there. Now, 6 points clear of Sydney FC in 4th, so surely Victory have nailed down a spot in the top 4 there. Obviously, as we know, especially with finishing 3rd and 4th, crucial in those elimination finals to be that hosting team. So very important to finish in those positions. Finally, we got goals in the Melbourne Derby as well after the 2 previous editions. Wended scoreless, didn't they? Sunday, 2 exciting fixtures. And what a result this was for Newcastle Jets. Their season is done. They cannot make the top 6, but this was a huge result for them. 3-1 against Sydney FC. Who saw it coming, man? Who saw it coming? And look, we could talk about the red card, but I thought Jets were really, really good on the day, man, and had scored two really nicely taken goals in that first half. Clayton Taylor with a very tidy finish, and then Reno Piscopo finishing off a beautiful team goal for the Jets. Fabio Gomez scoring just before half-time. And then Apostolos Stamatolopoulos getting another goal. He's having a fantastic season at the Jets. But Robert Mack being sent off in that first half. Controversial moment. There was a bit of a coming together. And of course, as we saw, he sort of flicked the arm up without even looking at Philip Cancart, should be said. But obviously, when you raise your arms in any way like that, you always run the risk. Look, there wasn't anything malicious in it. I don't think so. I mean, he literally wasn't even looking at Philip Cancart. But again, you always run the risk in that sort of situation there. Again, you look at the stats, it's pretty even overall in terms of the shots and all that. The Sky Blues, once again, though, going down to 10 men, which really, really hurt them in this match. And it allowed Jets to hold on for a impressive 3-1 win. And again, we've got another team in the top 6 losing here, Sydney FC. All 3 Sydney teams, you've got Sydney FC, MacArthur and Wanderers, all losing this week. Really, really disappointing. And again, the teams in, City, Brisbane, Adelaide, licking their lips at the opportunity to jump into that top 6. Let's talk about the final game of the round. And what a match it was once again. Another 4-2 result. Adelaide 4, Perth Glory 2. Oh, man, Glory. I mean, the priority for them next year is just to sign some quality defenders, just to get someone in to try and plug the gaps at the back, once again conceding goals as they have done so many times this season. But the Reds, for 2 consecutive weeks, scoring 4 goals. And this is now 3 consecutive wins for Adelaide, who are making a late charge for finals. What a story this could be. Credit to them, because Perth Glory had a 2-goal lead at the start. Adam Taggart, again, even though Perth seasons is over, it's all about Adam Taggart now. Can he win the Golden Boot? He's only 1 behind Bruno Fornaroli, so it's going to be a really, really exciting race in the final few rounds. But Ibusuki with a double, Zach Clough with a nice goal, Stefan Mork as well getting on the score sheet 4 goals for the Reds to earn them a huge 3 points in this match. Stefan Mork, again, fantastic in this game. He's been a great addition since arriving mid-season. Zach Clough, once again, off that left-hand side. We spoke about that last week. That is working out well. So it's that front four that I think is really combining nicely at the moment for the Reds. Ibusuki, always dangerous in front of goals. Can Adelaide actually do it? I mean, that's the question. Again, if we glance at the ladder, 9th place at the moment, 28 points. So they certainly, you'd imagine, again, they'd probably have to try and pick up maximum points to make that top 6 and hope that Wanderers slip up. It's going to be a really, really fascinating final few rounds, man. We look all across the ladder, whether it's the top, throughout that top 6, or even at the bottom of that top 6 there. Can one of these teams catch Western Sydney Wanderers? What a thrilling round of football, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll look ahead to next week, round 24. Some huge fixtures coming up. Keep an eye on the predictions video coming out later this week. My name's Lockie. This is Coastwood Football, and I'll see you in the next one.